That is for concrete behind the city building and put the recycle bin back. Also, according to ordinance, there has to be a fence put around that.
What ordinance was that in? I went up there.
I don't know it by heart. Let's see here. We have Thumbs Up Construction at Westchester, Ohio. The total scope of work. Recycle Center Concrete Project. $77,390. That's the only bid that we've received.
I like Williamstown's on Blacktop.
77,000 for a.
They said the three things,
I'm in the wrong business. I'm gonna get my belt. I'm gonna get my belt back on.
I want a piece of that action.
Okay, moving on, we got to decide which one we'll do that. Opening of seal bid for the Oakwood project, we only had one.
But it's not much more than recycle bin. It's not much more than recycle bin.
This bid is from Brass Eagle for the Oakwood Drive project, and
Maybe you're gonna do that in 2 stages.
I'm gonna pass it.
That was an option.
Right.
Well, that's it.
Well, there's also at the end, at the phone call.
Art?
Yes.
Still, it's not 65,000. Yeah, it was 159, wasn't it, last bid?
Go ahead and say the number. 178,000.
We got a bet.
How much, Joe?
186.
Oh, you're way off.
I said 3, 2, 9,000.
You know, our money for that portion.
Andy, what happened?
You really want me to go into that in here? I'll be glad to if you want me to. No, I'll take that back. I saved my bill before.
Do y'all see 2 options on there, or just one?
Well, this is do the road, and this is that extra 1 inch of black
So
on
it's
the
the
dressing.
222 plus the 18?
That's
Plus
the
the 18 if you wanna do the top of the street.
So basically, Alex, we could have taken that bid that was cheaper. That was, hold on, everybody needs to listen to this. We could have taken that bid that was cheaper, and some of the other people that were interested, because or other people that might not have had time to get their bid in on the 26th, and found out they increased it to the 29th, could have come back and possibly sued us. So, yes, we could have taken that first bid and it'd been a whole lot cheaper, but people could have come back and complained that we didn't follow the requirements, the legal obligations on the bids.
Is there any reason why these other companies that met didn't supply bid?
Because of the way the things changed 3 times,
I didn't get to the final meeting.
why they didn't come to the final meeting, because of how they saw how things changed, in my opinion, the first time, on the first bids that came out where they said this is the way it's gonna be, and okay, here's change number 1, so they had to redo everything again. Okay, here's change number 2, they had to redo everything again. And lastly, here's change number 3, where there was no public notice.
I
That
don't think
the
there has
deadline
to be
has
for an
been
amendment, Danny.
believe there is.
You guys wanna make a decision tonight, or you wanna?
Is it legal to have a conversation with him?
Do the same thing?
To possibly come down on the price since he was the only bid, or?
You can authorize to have the same thing you did before, is that all right?
You can look at the difference of the bid that he sent in before,
And see
about
what
what he increased.
Let's do
Can't
that.
hurt.
Let's do that, and, I'll probably get the total.
How much was this bid for this time? How much?
So we have a scope of work needed from council. You guys talked about the landscaping for 208. Could you give me a scope of work with what you're talking about and how you want to proceed with that?
Right now, with it being September, I don't see planting too many trees or too many flowers right now with winter almost here
You got
for
one.
landscaping.
You got one.
You got one. I'd like to see the, where we had bush hog, if we can keep that, cut back on the weekly or bi-weekly.
Maybe once a month on the bushel. It's
I
about
would
$200.
bush hog it.
And don't forget they got bush hog on the other side of the cut ditch that the city owns.
Yeah, that's $200 a road to have in bush hog. That's great.
Is this something we can bring up Tuesday night about the Oakwood? After I speak with Grass Eagles?
Sure. That starts at 8, right?
So we're gonna continue on Tuesday, breakout session for budget, then
CARES Act.
CARES Act.
And Grass Eagles.
I got one question. Recycling?
We now have director.
This was,
Now you're director now.
this scope of work is saying that they're pouring a 12-inch concrete slab, 20 feet long and 30 feet wide.
The truck has to come in, back around, and then back up to the dump, back up to the recycling bin. They take it on a rollback. They leave one, pick
Right.
one up, and then,
How
that's
big-
with the fence and everything.
How big is our parking lot? We're not 12 inches thick here.
It has to be, for that recycle bin, because what happens is they dig down and pick it up, and it damages the concrete, is the way that they explained it, and that's engineered.
I still wish there was a way that we could do it like Williamstown had theirs, which is on a pre-existing blacktop surface behind the old courthouse.
Can we do a blacktop? Does it?
Blacktop gravel, it's blacktop gravel, if we do something on a pre-existing,
With the
like-
ordinance, Danny, let's pull it up and see.
but you, I mean, that's if you do something new, you can put gravel down. But if there's pre-existing gravel there, like that little space between Dalton's lot, going down to the garage that's down over the hill, that's gravel, that's already there, that's a pre-existing structure that you can roll it
Well, I
up and
talked
down.
about putting that on asphalt up and just putting it at the firehouse parking
As-
lot.
Asphalt, it would melt it, and the heat that way, it would put all kinds of ropes in it.
So Danny, we're gonna discuss about a new location, right? Less concrete.
Discuss, if we,
Yeah.
we can, anywhere that we can agree about, it will not have to cost money. And I don't know what ordinance it says that it has to have a fence around it, because Dry Ridge, Williamstown doesn't have one, and when it was down there by
Crittenden
the,
adopted the county ordinance, Danny, in 2006, you have to have an ordinance.
there was
I mean, you
never a
have to-
fence, there was never a fence around the recycle bin when it was down there by the industrial park.
Was it there before 2006? I don't know.
I don't know,
Yeah, they went there before 2006.
because it used to be up here. Wasn't it up here when you were here before, Jim?
It was.
Where was it, right here, or was it right?
No, it was over here, as I recall. You remember, Lance?
I wanna say,
Yeah, right back here.
So it was on city property,
Yeah.
so we actually don't really need to pour any concrete.
I have no idea about where that's coming from, but I know before it was back here, so.
And if we do something like that, it's, concrete's already poured. And I don't know about the ordinance about that. We could always make a resolution not to go by that ordinance since we make other resolutions. But that's something that would be free, because this county pays for the recycle bin.
Does anyone really know whether our waste company is actually recycling, or is it just a feel-good moment?
They say.
I'll tell you from past experience, one of my best friends, Mike DeCastro, runs American Refuel, which is one of the biggest waste companies on the East Coast. And people want to feel good and pound their chests saying, we're recycling. So a lot of these waste companies put these recycle bins out ostensibly to make you feel good about recycling, but the reality is the Chinese have quit buying the plastic. They've quit buying the paper. You don't ship it to China anymore. So what does the waste company do? Most of them put it right back, you're nodding, Alex, because you know this. They put it right in the landfill along with your waste, and you felt good that you've been a good steward to the environment. And it's going in the same hole as all the other garbage.
Well, I'm paying for recycling.
Pardon, while paying for recycling.
I'm paying for it, for them to pick it up
Well,
once a
you're
month.
paying for that feel-good moment. So I would be willing to bet, and I don't know if our current waste company does this, but I know a lot of them do, it's just to make you feel good.
I disagree with that after speaking with Tom with Republic Service. They do recycle. Now, you're right about the China. They don't buy it anymore, but here's the dilemma. There's certain things that you can recycle that people think you can recycle, and they can't use that. They can use bottles, different plastics, and you want to label it really well, because that's what they can use to sell. But I perceive that Republic Service may not even want to agree with the rest of the county next time. If it's costing them more money to have a recycling unit than what they're getting back. I mean, that's just my assumption after talking with Tom with Republic Service many times. We had the report from Mr. Purcell.
Okay, I know it's getting late, so I'll make this brief. The council asked Danny and I to look into both sides, criminal and civil, on the issue with the mayor. We did so. We met with Kentucky State Police and the sheriff. They got back with us and indicated that they'd spoken with prosecution, and they said they want to wait until there's a civil order before they take it to the grand jury. That being the case, I've spoken with 2 attorneys, an attorney who has agreed to undertake the matter, and he would like to meet with council to move this forward at our next meeting. So I'll ask him to be here with council's blessing. I'll ask him to be here Tuesday. Anybody have questions?
Can my attorney be here as well?
Absolutely. Public.
Because I'm probably going to counter soon.
There's a lot, there, was it, sorry. That's the 980.
I'd just like to say to the public, and I know this will probably go on YouTube and in the paper and so forth, to the people, in my mind and in my heart, I didn't steal. I got paid for a job that I did. I could have took $15,000, and I only took the $3,000 for the ABC position. And I have all the paperwork to back up where council was going to pay me retro pay. And I'm ready. I'm ready.
So this is the post-budget meeting. Okay.
Is part of this open to the public?
It is.
So it's not a special meeting?
You can come to special meetings as well, it's just the executive meeting if we go into closed session. Anything else?
To discuss the
Oh,
budget.
you Yeah, we got three.
We have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So during this meeting to the next meeting, yes, I'm with it.
I second it.
Mr. Martin. No. Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Duzen.
Thank you.
Mr. Duzen. Yes. No. Adjourn.
Adjourn the meeting to the next Tuesday.
Yes.
Sorry, I just meant. Sorry.
Congratulations.
I am learning.